There is no end to this story. Nothing. It does not end. There's no resolution. Call it the Erika Kirk story. It's not even Candace Owens. It's this evolving, never-ending story of Erika Kirk. I can't believe it. More than anybody else, I'm telling you, this can't be. It's not even close to resolution. And let me see if I can explain this as plainly as I possibly can. There's something about this whole thing, something about this story, something about this entire event that beyond stinks. It is beyond rotten. And the reason that people are upset still, the reason why there is no resolution to this, is because they're tired of the lies. It's not because they're crazy. It's not because they're conspiracy theorists or they're mean. It's not because of anything else. It's because they can feel why they are being sold a bill of goods, a story, instead of being told the truth. It's that simple. And this is the heart of the story. Ever since Charlie Kirk died, ever since, the public has been handed this perfectly packaged narrative. You know, everything is smooth, everything is groovy, everything is polished, everything sounds scripted. And we are told not to ask too many questions. Come on, move on. There are more important things to worry about. Don't worry about this. Move on. There's something weird about you. You're spending too much time on this. It's no big deal. It's not a big deal. We're told this transition is natural. And we're told that this rise is normal, her particular elevation, her apotheosis, dare I say. Really? Since when does something this huge happen this fast without people stopping and saying, wait a minute, hold on. What exactly is going on here? It's a story that the more you review it, the more you can't believe what you're seeing, because that is what people are reacting to. The speed, the celerity, the advancement, the choreography, the messaging, the way everyone around Erika suddenly seems to have the same identical talking points, the same convenient memories, the same magical private conversations that never occurred with Charlie, all of them bolstering and perpetuating this myth regarding her. They talk about these conversations that somehow point in the same direction. Isn't that amazing? Everybody suddenly remembers Charlie saying the exact same thing that helps the current power structure. Everybody remembers the perfect line for the perfect moment. What a miracle. What a miracle. Charlie wanted his successor to be Erika. I mean, it's nuts. Nobody believes this. Nobody. And now we're supposed to believe that this was all just organic. Totally normal. Nothing to see here. Move along, citizen. Just move along. You don't know what's going on. People are not dumb. People are not stupid. People understand what's going on. And the only reason they're upset about this is because you're lying to them needlessly. And when you see a public figure elevated overnight, when you see the branding kick in immediately, when you hear people casually floating ideas like future presidential material, presidential potential, when you watch an organization begin to revolve around the image management instead of a mission, you are allowed to ask questions. And in fact, you should ask questions. And that's what serious people do. That's the beautiful part about this. And let's talk about timing, shall we? Oh, the timing's impeccable. Because timing matters. Politics is not kindergarten. Timing tells you what people are thinking and what they're planning. And timing tells you priorities. And timing tells you whether someone is grieving, managing chaos, or already pivoting to the next chapter. And what has rattled so many observers is that this didn't feel like a pause. It felt like a launch, like this was ready to go, like this was a progression that was already in the making. And that's why so many people keep using the word campaign. Maybe not a literal campaign, maybe not a filed candidacy, but a campaign in the broader sense, a rollout, a positioning effort, a soft launch into a new form of public power. And whether you like that language or not, you can understand, I believe, you can understand why people feel it. The memorials, the speeches, the branding, the alliances, the appointments, the optics, it all feels less like a private tragedy and more like the beginning of a public relaunch. You know, the introduction, coming soon, grand opening. And that is what is unsettling. And that is what bothers so many people. Because my friend, my dear, dear friend, and I mean that term truly, my friend Charlie Kirk built a movement around a message. Love him or hate him, he had a message, he had a style, he had a following. But what people are worried about now is whether that mission is being quietly subverted and replaced by something much more familiar in American politics. That's right, personality worship, the cult of personality, or the attempt at that. Brand management, stagecraft, power by narrative. And that's where people get angry, very upset. See, because the problem is movements die, movements collapse when they stop being about principles and start being about image. An image is exactly what so many people think they are looking at right now. It's exactly the truth. You see, a carefully managed image, a public persona wrapped in grief and faith and destiny and symbolism, and the more polished it gets, the more suspicious people become. That's what this is. Why? Why is that true? Because real grief is messy. Real transitions are messy. Life is messy. Real life is real messy. But this is felt to many folks weirdly organized, choreographed, curated, developed, like a kabuki dance, like a staged act, like a 3, 4, 5-part play. Now, does that prove some grand plot? No. And smart people know the difference between suspicion and proof, and I know you do too. But suspicion doesn't become evident and doesn't come out from nowhere. Suspicion comes when the public senses that the official story is too neat, too fast, too convenient, when we're not buying it. And that is where we are now, dear friend. And here's the part nobody really wants to say out loud. A lot of people feel like they're being emotionally manipulated, played with, toyed with. And they feel like that if they question the narrative, if they question the story, that they'll be called cruel. And they have been. If they notice inconsistencies, they will be called heartless. If they point out the obvious political positioning, they will be told that they are attacking a widow, a poor widow, a widow who doesn't deserve this, a widow who's good, a widow who's just a child of God, a widow who's just trying to pull herself up by the bootstraps, a single mom, mom, just trying to cobble together enough funds to keep her family fed. Oh, man. That's how narrative control works. And it wraps itself in something untouchable and then dares for you to speak. Well, people are speaking anyway. Oh, boy, are they speaking. And that's what's critical. Because, my friend, my dear, dear friends, and I can't say that enough, the stakes are bigger than one person. The question is not just who Erika is. The question is what Turning Point USA, what TPUSA becomes now, if it survives. Is it still the movement Charlie built? Or is it being reshaped into something else completely and entirely? You know, something more theatrical, something more personality driven, something that doesn't really, it's not substance based, but kind of formulaic. Is it more focused on optics or organizing? You see, that's the real issue. And that's where you've been, because you look, we know what this is, okay? And the people who keep laughing off these concerns are missing the point completely and totally. You don't have to believe every rumor to recognize a pattern. You don't have to endorse every theory to admit the politics are bizarre. And you don't have to make wild accusations to say with a straight face and with candor that this all feels staged and overproduced and politically motivated and politically convenient. But it does, because it is. And that's why this story is not going away, not by a long shot. Not because people are obsessed, not because they're evil, not because they're bored, not because they have nothing better to do, but because they are watching a power transition happen in real time before their eyes. And they don't trust what they are seeing. It's that simple. Can't make it any clearer. Nor can you. And frankly, who can blame them? Who can blame us? If you want, I can give you more examples of this. I can justify your feeling. I can, not that I have to, but I can put this into a perspective where you will be able to understand specifically why this is what it is. We are seeing something that is a modern day, real, legitimate soap opera in real time. It's Dynasty, it's Falcon Crest, it's Dallas. This is for my generation. It's a personality that you cannot believe Go back and look. If ever you want to see, go back and look at Erika hugging the president and take it from there. You will not be able to see. You know, this is one of those things, very quickly. This is one of those things where you watch it again and you see it again and you see it again and you see it again. It's like you watch something and somebody says, watch right there. Watch in the corner. You see this? Play it back. Watch it again. See it? See it? And then you realize it. And then that's all you see. And then you think, it's getting worse. And you're thinking to yourself, have they altered these videos? Have they? No, it's the same video. Why does it seem worse now? It seems worse now because you're smarter now. Because you've been paying attention to this, because you can't believe what you were seeing. And there's no end in sight. And I feel sorry for Charlie's memory. I feel sorry for the true believers. I feel sorry for the young women and men who really believed in him. I can't believe, I can't believe, and I've got to say this, because it's come up. Do you think, somebody said, do you think President Trump really knows what's going on? And I said, dude, as the kids say, do you know what's going on in the world right now? Believe me, the last thing on his plate, the last thing on the agenda is Erika Kirk. But in retrospect, don't be surprised if one day somebody says, Mr. President, we have to distance ourselves. Why? She is not what you think. Because the moment the stink and the stench and the funk of this lunacy sticks to you, it doesn't go away. You are smart. You are so smart. You have gotten this from day one. So many great people I've met. So many people from different walks of life. You're like the perfect grand jury. You're the jury I wish I could pick because you're smart. You can read through. You can read people because you've been around. You don't have to have confessions to know what's going on. If it walks like a duck and acts like a duck and all that stuff, it's a duck. Well, it's a serious duck. It's a big duck. It's a pato grande. You got that? All right, my friends. Thank you for watching. Please like the video. You know the routine. We love so much for you to be a part of our family because we love being a part of yours. And this is a family. We are family. I've got all my sisters with me. I think the sister Sledge said it best. I've got some questions for you to answer. Please like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And whatever you do, I mean this. Look at me. Comment as you see fit.